Hey guys, today's video is brought to you by Keeps, and today I'm not just addressing you as one of their spokespeople, but I'm also addressing you as one of their clients, because I've been using Keeps for a couple of weeks now to tackle the same male pattern baldness that over 2/3 of guys over the age of 35 experience. Keeps has revolutionized the way men are treated for hair loss. With Keeps, it's easier and more affordable to get treatment for your hair loss and help you keep the hair that you have. Keeps offers scientifically proven treatments, both over-the-counter and prescription, that combat symptoms of hair loss. With Keeps, you can visit the doctor online and get hair loss medication delivered right to your home. Prevention is key. Keeps treatments really work. The sooner you start using Keeps, the more hair you'll save, so act fast. Many men even experience hair regrowth with Keeps treatments. Keeps offers generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products out there. Some of you may have tried them before, but probably never for this price. Find out why Keeps has more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors, and why nearly 100,000 men trust Keeps for their hair loss prevention medication. So if you noticed you're losing your hair and you want to do something about it, visit keeps.com/SSR. There's a link below in the description to take advantage of this limited time special offer. Spring is here, and in the art of good deeds gone bad, I was going to lend out the NSX. And the NSX had other thoughts. Now, I got this car back from service. It just got that 100,000 mile service. Still, I just pulled out the plastic. Still has a 100,000 mile service. But I can't get it to start. And when I say I can't get it to start, it's got enough power. And it's got this thing here, right here, which I don't know why. This automatically reads the battery, but it thinks it's a 6-volt battery at 98% charge. So that would mean the battery's pretty good. But when I go to fire it up, start button, nothing, right? So then I hook it up to a bigger battery, like the jumper pack. That's Macbeth.
Hi guys.
She is a YouTuber also, and she was going to join the long line of YouTubers that have gotten to use this car. We have Rob Dom, who famously got the door whacked. David Patterson, who was perfectly fine because he's a sweetheart. And then, I don't think I ever lent it to Rob Dom ever again. But then there's a bunch of people you wouldn't know that got to drive this car. This car, to me, it's a Honda. Like, everybody can drive it. It's a Honda, it's reliable, except now it's letting me down. She had a problem. She just bought a car, and the rotor cracked in half. That's a bigger problem.
I had to stop for a minute, but the rotor cracked, and I'm going to show you guys. Hold on. Do you guys see that? Look where it cracked. Cheap rotors.
So I was like, you can use Old Trusty. You don't have to rent a car. And sure enough, Old Trusty, not so trusty. But let me see if these cooled down. I tried getting it started with these. And 200 amps of engine starting power. And remember, this is just a little 6-banger. It's not even like a giant. All right, do that. We do have power there. Unplug that. Just wait here while I do the Back to the Future. 1.21 gigawatts. This is on the engine start mode. These have cooled down. It's 200 amp engine start. That's full-blown rage mode. And this is what we get. We get a lot of cranking. But no starty. Now, when I picked it up, I just had the 100,000 mile service done. He said he swapped the starter, which he did. I think we're masking a larger problem here. I don't know what it is, but we just had the thing apart. It did start consistently prior to going down, not starting consistently now. And now it's like my Corvette. Like, one of the only things you ask for from a car is that it actually starts. Like, it doesn't have to run optimally. It just got to get you point A to point B. This right now. Oh, hey, we got some life. See, now that started, but that took far too long to start. I don't know why. I don't know if the fuel drained all the way out of the lines. Something doesn't make sense. This thing needs a little life. I'm going to drive it home tonight, but I may get stuck. And see, I've got these lights. I got the SRS, EPS, brake light. Those lights shouldn't be on. They were not on prior. But it's got a nice new Odyssey battery in it. I can't really blame that. What's that?
I said regardless, I wouldn't even want to drive it because who knows if we'll even start.
Well, that's the problem. I'm not going to let you take it, even though I started it. I'm not even going to bring it home myself tonight. Normally I would drive this and allow it to, see, these cables are very hot. And hot cables aren't good. So ultimately it started.
Might be a wiring issue.
It shouldn't have a wiring issue. There's no aftermarket wiring. Hanky. But let's see what other cars don't start, because I've got a bunch of them. And as I said, you know the one that's going to start? Right up there, the Ferrari. I bet you that thing's been sitting on a lift since November. I bet you that starts. I'm cheating because it's got a, well, it should have, oh yeah, you can see it, the little trickle charger in it. But I mean, there's a benefit to the newer cars versus the older cars. But it should have started, right? Like, it's a little frustrating. This one, I'm telling you, I'm confident. Of all my cars, and this is, I hear YouTubing going on in the background. Let's see, on the drip tray, not a drop. Look how nice this looks down here. There is something nice about having a Ferrari that doesn't drip on the floor. Now, I do have a mystery drip, and I don't know what it is, but it's underneath where that S-Class is. So we'll figure that out and identify the culprit. It's got to be one of these cars, because these are the only cars that are here. So, and it wasn't my Vet. If I was going to blame a car for leaking, I'd probably say my Corvette. It wasn't. So stay tuned. Right after this, we'll come back and see what starts. Here's a quick follow-up. Not that it's been running for so long, but it's been running long enough, and I've got the help of my Instagram followers throwing out suggestions. But let's give it a turn off. Okay. That's good lights. Fires right up, right? So that would mean maybe, and it sounds like it's misfiring a little bit, right? Still shouldn't have those lights, the SRS EPS lights. Now it's absolutely normal. I don't know, maybe it's, I'm gonna try letting it sit at least overnight and seeing what happens. It could be that the fuel sort of, maybe there's a small fuel leak, so it disappears into the line somewhere, and it's got to build up the pressure to ultimately get fuel into the system and start, and that kills the battery. I don't know, but the battery doesn't try to aggressively crank when you first step on it. So I was suggested that maybe it's some of the leads. Maybe I've got some rusty terminals, but are corroded terminals, but they're not really corroded. I mean, it's on there pretty good. No, it could be a bad ground. It's the worst. I hate chasing stuff like this down. But gotta do it. Comes with the territory of playing with cars. Well, not me personally doing it. I'm gonna have to pay somebody to do it, which is even worse than me doing it, because it's gonna cost me a lot of money. So, all right, stay tuned. Okay, so I'm over here doing my NSX. I'm going to try swapping the battery to see if that solves it. This is just a mounting bracket for the battery. And I go to pull the battery out and I see this. Right, and I'm going to have to give you a little zoom here. That screw, for some reason, is sandwiched in the negative terminal. That little silver one right there. And I don't know why. But I'm going to start by taking that out and seeing if that changes whether this starts or not. I got a screwdriver here. Let's see if getting rid of the anomaly works first. You know what? Let's do it the easier way. Let me pop that off. It could be something that simple. Let me pop that off and then see if that works. That would be the easiest. This was a little loose, but that shouldn't really be a tremendous problem. But this slides on and off, and this is as tight as it goes. And that's probably why they had that extra thing screwed into it. Let's see if those terminals are any bigger. If not, I might have to cut that ground strap off, put another one on. See if the other battery fixes it. Those easiest steps first, and hopefully we solve the problem. All right, we've got tightness there. I bent it a little bit. Full battery swap. Took out the Odyssey Extreme, which is a great battery. It shouldn't have had an issue. Let's give it the old heave-ho here and see if that solves the problem. If not, it gets slightly more complicated. All right, that's good lights. Sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable here. Feeling pretty good about that. Like we still have the SRS light, that's normal. The other light went away. Brake lights for this, that's for that, that's for the seat belt. So other than that, Bob the mechanic, who knew? Making it look easy. All right, let's drive it around for a couple of days, see what happens, and if that solved it, that'll make me happy. But I wanted to get to this before spring, because I feel like if I brought it to a mechanic, we would have been swapping ground straps and all sorts of stuff, and I'm very lucky that it was the easy solution. So you guys are familiar with my other company, Adventure Drives, right? Well, this year we've got 2 trips coming up. One which is starting in Seattle and ending in Jackson Hole in July. That's going up through the Canadian Rockies, coming down through Banff, Yellowstone, Glacier National Park, and Grand Teton National Park. It's going to be phenomenal. Also, we're going to be going to Scotland in October. We're going to be doing Scotch distilleries, playing golf at St. Andrews if you want to do that, walking around, seeing lakes, waterfalls, driving the North Coast. It's going to be an amazing trip. Prices start as low as $2,500 per person for the shorter trip in Scotland, about double that for the longer trip in July. If you're interested in going, check out the link in the description.